Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Justice for all.
Welcome everybody. I just got back in town. Legislature Martinez, the meeting. I showed up, so he's going to continue to do it, but he promised me he'd work with me. See how that goes.
I think we'll do this one.
And then a chance to review the minutes. First by Legislator Twist, second by Legislator Soloway. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Let's go.
I'll make a motion to move GC2 through GC6 into blocks. Second.
First by Legislator Martino, second by Legislator Twist, move GC2, GC6 block. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None? Any questions? Okay. ES1, resolution authorizing budget modification, emergency management office, drone technology. First by Legislator Martino, second by Legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Yeah, we can. I'll make a motion to move PS2 through PS7 block.
First by Legislator Martino, second by Legislator Holtz. Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried.
Can we make a motion to move HS1 to HS7 block?
The HS7.
So HS6, okay.
Motion to move HS1 through HS6 block. Got a first by Legislator Martino, second by Legislator Twist. Anyone have any questions? Favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. HS. Yeah, so many changes.
Is there any changes that we really do make to HS7? Right, that's it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. HS7 needed to correct the Schedule A in the principal text.
Actual resolution?
Yes. It was changed in committee on the resolution. The Schedule A needs to be replaced.
First by Legislator Twist, second by Legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. I knew there was an issue with it.
Yeah.
Looking for a motion to move the original resolution as amended.
So moved.
First by Legislator Holloway, second by Legislator Holtz. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yeah. EP1.
One, 7.
337. Second by Legislator Lockwood. Anyone have any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. Yep. Okay, HE1, resolution authorizing budget mod, the health department, Field Spring.
Second.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Twist. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. HE2, resolution authorizing budget modification, increasing the health department's preschool service. First by legislator House. Second by legislator Lockwood. Anyone have any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. HE3, resolution authorizing budget bond increasing the health department's preschool transportation. Motion vote, first by legislator Martino, by legislator Holt. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
John, digress. So, there talks about this.
Legislature, which is the organization that all the social service, I'm sorry, health department officers belong to, has written a proposal to involve the school districts to do the transportation, since they already have the buses. This would involve state requirements the schools to do the transportation, but still be a county cost. The assumption being that the schools could do it with less overhead costs in the private sector and lower costs. Whether that's going to go anywhere or not, I don't know. When I think the first year I was county administrator 17 years ago, I met with our superintendents, tried to work something out with them, and there didn't seem to be much interest from the school districts to getting involved. I tried to get them to bid on an RRP for the transportation. They didn't want to expand their services to be responsible. So I don't know if NYSHO's proposal is going to go anywhere, but NISAC has placed it as one of its priority lobbying efforts this year to get the state to address its costs of this program. It's going on, it's coming astronomical for all counties. The problem being that counties pay the bill and we have absolutely no say in either the provision of services, who gets services, where they are, what the costs are. The state sets all the rates. Many counties only have one transportation provider, so they get to set their rate. Parents get to decide where their kids go. So there's no mechanism in this whole thing. Anything you'd like to add to that? Okay, thank you.
Do it. To IT1, I understand IT amended infrastructure, correct? So we need to as amended.
Yeah, motion to move IT1 as was amended. Infrastructure to
Increase.
project per ownership.
Okay, I got first by legislator Martino, second by legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carry. Okay. FP2, resolution authorizing professional services department. By legislator Martino, second by legislator Salary. Have any questions? Okay.
Health insurance carrier, so that's why
Okay, makes sense. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. P3, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Sheriff Silver Star Association. First by legislator House. Second by legislator Soloway.
Now, Mr. Chairman, go ahead. It's, next few resolutions are all based off the compensation study that was worked on and completed most recently to take care of company.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. P5, resolution amending the salaries for the city. Yeah, I saw the sheriff. Okay, for resolution approving creation memorandum of understanding with the Oswego County Deputies Association. Legislator Martino, second by legislator Lockwood. Any questions? Favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Now, resolution amending the salaries. Legislator Martino. Their house. Any questions? Favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. We have P6, resolution amending salaries concerning the management compensation. Looking to amend this correct, there was a couple that left out there.
Yeah, you should have it right. And that's three, so that one's the amended one.
Oh, so that, this is the.
That is the amended.
Understood.
These need to be passed out. but-
Yeah, please. Those are the two walk-ons. Here's another one. Well, that's, goes from that. Yes, it goes from that. Oh, this is the. Oh. This is, and this.
For a motion to amend.
Oh, the F,
Ready?
okay. Okay, so you, this is nothing, and I'll send it
Seven's
that
coming
way.
this way, eight went that way.
Oh,
Here we go.
okay, that's FDA.
I got it.
Six.
Let's do it.
So the amended version of FP6 has everything up to current, correct?
Updated budget mod, updated charter.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to, make an amendment on FP6 to the current updated salaries rates.
First by legislator Martino.
Yeah, second.
Second by legislator Soloway. Have any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Back to the original resolution as amended. First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Holst. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Okay, now, FP7.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to FP7 and FP8. These two resolutions came in late. We can go over this information. I would make a motion to FP7.
7, 8,
Just
just FP7. Understood. Got a first by legislator Martino.
FP7.
FP7 is amended, right?
They weren't, they didn't
Oh,
have.
they weren't.
Yeah.
They were walk-ins, because we didn't want to, we didn't worry about the amendment, we brought them in as walk-ins because we had finalized everything.
Okay.
So basically, FP7, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Oswego County personnel agreement. Oswego County Office Personnel, correct?
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Move on.
Understand.
You've got
We
your.
had a first and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Thank you. On to FP8.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the FP8 resolution approving a memorandum of understanding to extend the Oswego County Office Personnel Unit contract.
Stand. I got a first by legislator Martin.
Second by
Second by legislator Lockwood. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Back. FP1. FP1, resolution authorizing the reclassification of two positions in the audit department. Move it. Got a first by legislator House, second by legislator Holst.
I believe Phil wanted to speak on it.
Speak.
Thank you. First of all, we have a amendment to it because the resolutions that just passed changed the numbers slightly, so we're going to pass that out so that everybody's got a copy. Thank you. These two reclasses were actually started back in spring, but we held off, like other departments did, as other departments were requested to wait for the compensation study to be completed. This affects both audit positions. After reviewing their work and changes that have occurred to their work responsibilities over the last couple of years, we feel that the classification principal account clerk is more proper for the work that they are doing. Over the last couple of years, personnel with the ESS system and purchasing, with the many advances it has made in technology and modernizing, did a great job in doing that. But it has also affected the downstream work of certain positions, among them audit, and made their duties and the work that they do far more complex. They have to work at a higher level of independence and decision-making. Veronica could go into some of those details, but the ESS system, by having employees directly enter their reimbursements, what used to be checked at the departmental level now comes to audit, and it's a lot of higher level work that they got to work with spreadsheets when they didn't have to before. It used to be that an audit clerk got a badge with vouchers attached, and they just had to check the numbers and make sure they're in the right budget lines and any numbers happen. Now they are working with departments, interpreting financial policy and procedures, working with back and forth with the other senior account clerks in the other departments on what they have submitted. The credit card program has also increased the type of work that they have to do in terms of reconciling credit card statements. Just by way of a visual, I asked Raven to put up, can you scroll up a little bit? So okay, this is the principal account clerk job description. And if you scroll down a little bit, everything in yellow is what these seniors are doing. So that we've identified that the work they're doing fits the principal account clerk job description better. And if you scroll down to the second page, Craven, this is the senior where they are now. Now, if you scroll down a bit, the green are areas where they are actually reviewing and monitoring the work of other senior account clerks. So you have senior account clerks reviewing and monitoring others and directing them when they make errors, training them on how to do certain processes correctly. None of this used to be done 3 or 4 years ago by the current staff. So I think we've made great advances in the technology we're using, but it has fundamentally changed what this position does and has increased not just the workload, but the level of complexity. If you want to give some examples, you talk a little bit about what you discovered.
Well, some of the things that have been a little more work for them is, you know, when you are into the Munis system, they're having to click through, go into the batch, look at the batch, then they have to click on and go in and look at all of the invoices that are attached to that batch. And then they have to go look at the POs to make sure that those invoices actually match. And when they don't, then they have to kind of send it back to them. And oftentimes that involves them, you know, they'll call the auditors and say, how do I fix it? Really, a lot of the fixing gets done either through them or through
They call purchasing
department. Correct. So a lot of that just goes back and forth between the two departments. But the other things that happen is like when the ESS, there's a lot of errors with ESS because employees make errors or they don't download their receipts properly or whatever. So that has to go back and forth a lot. Only thing you can do in ESS is deny it, which means it has to be all researchers by the unfortunately. And so there's a lot of going back and forth to fix all that. So it's taking up a lot more of their time as well. But also the requisitions, they have to go in quite a bit and just make sure constantly that those are being updated so that they're on top of it. That's all stuff they didn't have before. So it's just a little more complex for them. But they're adjusting.
Well, I appreciate the explanation. You know, I'll get back and reclassify things, but I appreciate the in-depth explanation. And all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Carried. That salary for newly appointed deputy clerk. Okay, first by legislator Twist. Second by legislator Martino. Does anybody have any questions? Favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. That now just new departments.
So there's
I can put one more time, right? Who are the two ones.
Great.
So this was,
That's all. Quite a walk through. Quite a purple.
Oh, okay.
And then
Oh,
this is a
within
law.
the-
This is a law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the setting the salary for the acting public defender is in the resolution. That was the the other walk-on is the deputy commissioner of social services. That one I think is going around right there. Maybe. And I'll defer to the commissioners. The public defender, acting public defender is a GC6 with the sum of 151, 248.
Yeah,
So
we
that-
already did that.
Requested, for the deputy commissioner of social services. Lee Sullivan, this will be a, salary step A, set, 555.
Stan looking for a motion.
Move it. Second by legislator Schwartz.
555, first by legislator Martino. Second by legislator Twist. Anything you'd like to say?
Is there anything anyone would like to know about the candidate?
Yeah.
He is from out of county. He is in Cuba County. It takes him about 42 minutes for the drive, which is not too bad for any of us that have had to travel, right? I used to drive 2 hours, 2 days a week to Ithaca for one of my positions. So I don't think it's terribly bad. He comes with a very diverse background with DSS services throughout the different systems that he's worked in. He comes with some really good board experience as well, and some training with that for media responsibilities. So I thought that was interesting as well. I think that you all will like him. Very stand-up kind of a person. So I can't wait to introduce him.
Very good. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carried. That goes to the last two. Yeah, the last one. Yep. Yeah, there was so many more. Okay, calendar reporting, Mark. There's-
Right, so, first, year-to-date savings as of our August with report is $4,491,999, and it is just over $200,000 in amount of savings more than this time last year. Currently, there's only 76 vacancies, which is a huge decrease in what we've had, so it's a very good stride for the made in filling positions. We
That's
do,
good news.
yeah, it is, but it's nice to see that come down on that month. We have, I think I mentioned last month, 42 titles in addition to submit to the state civil service for rules change to get under the HOPE program. There is a commission meeting next week. They have not released the agenda, so we won't know how many. I'm assuming probably they try to do like 5 titles at a time, hopefully it's in the county and on the resolution agenda, so we will find out more next week. I do have to ask that discuss the fee waiver, what we were going to do for 2025. Currently, the state has their fees waived until the end of December of next year. So we're looking for guidance, what would you like us to do? I mean, we have so many titles that are under the health program, but we still will have exams to be given. We didn't really see like huge health helpfulness of waiving our fees, so I don't know if you want us to kind of coincide with the state, they're still waiving them, or bring back our sale.
Coincide with the, if it maybe helps.
We can make up your revenue loss from that using our, by federal rules, have to sign an agreement with you that I'm providing our money
Okay,
from your revenue
so for,
loss. So if the legislature wants the fee waiver to coincide with the states, just to make it simple.
okay, so we'll do, get a resolution drafted, or,
No, it's an interagency, interdepartmental agreement.
well, there was, I think it was a resolution that's done in January.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right, you and I have to.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so just put a resolution
We'll put
together
together,
for
okay.
October,
Mhm.
for the following year.
Okay,
Yes,
Don't
Mr.
don't we
Chairman.
approve that?
Reference in there, what kind of money we give away? I mean, what's the total that we normally take, just so we know,
okay.
not opposed to students.
I think I action.
No, I just want to
Yeah,
get your
good job.
feedback, so
Yeah.
we'll put together a resolution.
Very good.
We do have our clerical exams are gonna be on this week, for just, like, departments will have, lists coming out next week, so if you have openings, we'll need names on there. I guess more on a personal note, recently I have been approached and asked to be on the executive board for our New York State Association of Personnel Civil Service Officers, so I've accepted,
I'm gonna have a convention like.
I go every year, I've been going to that many
Yeah,
years.
but Kevin posted one here in Oswego, he's gas.
I got samples for everyone.
There you go,
So now you
Yeah.
can try to,
get it here, well, we have our workers' comp one here, so we didn't.
Very good. excellent.
That's it.
All right, thank you. And
Pass around, I have a variance report for you. If you have any questions, once you go through it, just where the departments are in their spending. We're pretty much on track, same as we were last year. This runs through the end of August. Spending about 58% of our budget so far at that point. I plan to get the budget to you before the end of September. Keeping with the timeline, I want to get it to you a month earlier than you're used to getting it. I'm going to give you an extra committee cycle to work on the budget. Even with the additional expenses of preschool and new compensation plans, I'm fairly confident that I'll be able to get you a budget that complies with the tax cap. This year, if it were tax cap to the penny, the levy would go up 5.5%. I'm going to try to get below that, but the tax rate would decrease 7%. So it's a mixed bag on that if we hit that tax cap. Try to get you as far below that as I can. And then turn it over to you and work with you in the rest of the year on further adjustments.
you, Cap?
Yeah, I was gonna do this real quick. So,
Excellent, thank you, Kevin. No, just kidding.
so I did hand out, okay, so you look at sales tax, we'll go through the sales tax, it's still down almost $500,000 for the calendar year. Hopefully we'll get back at least to, what it was last year. And, then there is the reserve analysis. So, the other thing, real quick on the sales tax, not all counties are seeing it. It's kind of a mixed bag across the state on the sales tax. They're not seeing the big explosions, obviously, like it was during the ARPA giveaway. But anyway, it is what it is, and we'll keep track of it. I do want to mention, I do want to apologize for the annual financial report has been late. Numbers haven't been, everything was submitted on time about 6 months ago. My chief accountant, Robbie, did a great job on getting this as soon as she could. And I know I told you, Phil, because Phil really relies on this, information to do the budget. But we've been working with the auditors on a lot of, and as well as some of the departments, working with the auditors, make sure that they're going to be, in compliance by the end of this month. I was notified today that everything's looking great to achieve that. So Arma got called by an auditor. I really appreciate the help that you've offered, and I think there's still a couple out there that I think we should try to reach out. So it's been pretty intense. Apologize for that, but anyways, I did ask her for some copies. I excused her from today's meeting, and I don't want to turn this into Stump the Treasurer. So review this at your leisure if you want us to come back to review. It's pretty simple to see how we're doing, but I want to point out one of the points that she mentioned here. Fund balance is healthy. It's down 1 million, but it is healthy. And I have to say that pretty much overall, she is absolutely correct. So it's healthy. So but after just something to think about, this is where we don't want to look at the report, but we want to understand, for the past few years, you've had revenue rivers where I've seen actually millions and millions of dollars of interest alone, more than ever. And you had ARPA funds coming in, people getting paid checks so they could go to Lowe's and buy lumber, so sales tax exploding. Those rivers were wide. Well, as we got on a conference call last Friday with the comptroller, those rivers are now streams. They're getting there. They're not streams yet, right? We know the interest rates are starting to drop. They're going to go down on the 18th, and we will not see that interest income of millions of dollars when we used to get 18,000. We're not going to see that influx of ARPA funds, at least currently, at least right now, where that sales tax is going to explode. There's so much other things that are happening that it's getting back to pre-pandemic thought process. And that even the comptroller agrees to that. You talk to 3+1, any financial company that is dealing with counties, that is their whole sentence, model, whatever, is all this money came in, you built softball fields, or you did this, whatever needed to be done, bought new vehicle, whatever. Now you got to kind of get your thinking back to where you run a normal business back pre-pandemic. And like I said, the comptroller even mentioned it on his call. So really, if you start thinking of that, all we got to do is get back to business as normal, and life may be, may level out. We still see about 70 million to 90 million in liquidity. So that hasn't really, it jumps when you get ARPA input, but it's still about average throughout the year. It's about the same as it's been for a while. So, so when you look at this report, it really doesn't capture, there is no shock and awe. There's no, if there was, you'd see me in March, April of this year doing something and telling you, watch what you do. I'm very conservative, so I think, I would have brought that to your point. There is no shock and awe, nothing. And just be careful. Sales tax is definitely something that you gotta watch. It's a trigger. The other thing that's a trigger is financial stress. If you start seeing towns or villages starting to request from the comptroller help because they're getting in financial stress, that's who's the next place, counties. They have seen an uptick from towns and villages as far as reaching out to them to ask them for help. So you're going to start seeing that. So we'll get through it. I don't think, and again, if you want us to present the whole thing up, and I can also do a 3+1 demonstration if you really want to see that. You really probably don't, because it shows where you're spending and how much you're spending. Let's just say we're back to status quo. And enjoy the last 2 years or 3 years that we've had. We partied hard. Now let's get back to business. And no, don't use that paper, please. So that's it about the annual financial report. Again, please go through that. I am actually trying AI, so that as soon as we submit it to the state, I'm going to try this artificial stuff and see if we can hit a button and it can print out what you want to do or what you want whenever. So instead of us having to do this little cartoonish stuff, you can just hit a button and do it. We can go on to Munis and pull it up at any time. I'm going to see if we can kind of do a form or something where legislators can see where we're at. at any time after, once we find it, send it to the state. So, that is it. Any questions? I mean, there's other things about the financial report, but like I said, about that. Nothing? Well, that was good. The next was, I gotta thank that Treasurers Conference. We had a freaking blast, people. I wish some people were here from here to the west. Caldwell's Hospitality did an excellent job. And we had every giveaway you could think of. I was able to get sponsorships. Like NASCAR, you get, some people give you money to sponsor stuff. We had cups that turn color. We had, and we did a lot of things with mentalists and comedians and different things. People had a great time, and the food was excellent. I just hope, please, get somebody, it's a great, they loved it. The whole key to this, and I didn't realize, being a legislator and then treasurer and stuff, realized how Oswego, the people came in, they didn't realize how everybody was so helpful and accommodating. And I was kind of shocked because I thought maybe we were a little stuck up once in a while, you know, and it's hard to do things. I tell you, we ran into some hiccups and we had businesses call us and what can we do to help you get out of it? It was seamless. Everybody jumped on board. You know, it was just incredible. The movie theater wanted to movies. Downtime. What a community. And I live in Central Square. It's better community, you know, but Jim, I think you agree, better community. But,
Yeah, we gave you a 4-year.
But really, you got it. If you see at the moments working with these, you know, mayor and just ran a couple things that we couldn't, or we had a couple activities we couldn't do. We had people calling us, get them over here. We had, you know, bring them over here. People loved it. So I was so impressed. It was incredible to see the outpouring of support. Okay, so that's it. On that,
Got a question. So movies, comedians, mentalists, did you get any work done? Because it sounds like the type of conference that I deny people to go to.
I gotta tell you, the morning bracket was horrible because we had to learn something. But then we had boats taking people around, we had buses taking people around, we had everything. There's unlimited food everywhere, unlimited drinks everywhere. And like I said, I think the whole the mornings were rough, but again, I got to say the community. If I could just, the outpouring. People would walk the streets over there, and the businesses were just absolutely accommodating. Not one bad word. One guy snuck into the police whatever station over there, and then went over to City Hall. They gave him a tour. The mayor gave him a tour of City Hall. The cop then sent him over to the police station. The guy came back and told 50 people, just walked in and I didn't even have to go through the metal detector. I was pretty impressed with that. Again, I really got to say, it was amazing. So, again, you really gotta, what we do, better we get. So, on that, and then the foreclosure process is the opposite. It's absolutely a pain in the keister. I'll just give you some numbers real quick. There was 680 parcels that we did. We did 3,200 letters from the new foreclosure. Each letter had to have 5 sheets of paper, roughly 17,600 pieces of paper had to go out of our office to tell somebody to freaking pay your taxes. Which cost about, guess the interesting part is, almost $1 a sheet, roughly $17,600 just to send that first notice. So we did it, and we have, so it's going to get easier as we do it, but there's going to be an added expense as far as with probably postage goes, but that's the numbers. It's incredible. So, and we got to do this more and more. Not just this one time and we say up, pay up, or it's too bad. No, it's got to be, you got to notify them, and then even after, notify them. After we get surplus. You did a fantastic job. When we asked over at the conference how many people have done a foreclosure, 3 counties did. Raised their hand. Mike, you were there, I think, Rich? We were one of them. A lot of them are trying to wait for us to somebody that pays, or to blaze the trail. And Rich has been doing a great job. And just, I gotta say, and they're waiting for us to probably get us a system down for that. So if legislators hear about foreclosure notices, or the surplus notices went out, so did the foreclosures, please let us handle it. Please tell the people to call us. Do not try to handle it yourself, because you're gonna be the bad person in the end. We'll be more than happy to handle it, and we're used to phone calls. Not so happy people. And then the certificate of residency that I've been working on with the state for during this year, that they've pretty much, they're gonna be sending the new one out across the state, and pretty much mirrors ours. So we've actually, we're just down finalizing that. And our counties have been calling us to start implementing our process in their counties. So glad to see that work for the most part. But again, I apologize for making this report a little bit late, and thank you for not putting, doing the stump the treasure game today.
Good.
Um,
I forgot.
No, the only thing I'd add is regarding sales tax. I learned at NISAC, one of the things that we've enjoyed watching over the last few years is this category of internet sales, finding how much it's contributing to our sales tax. Prior to being allowed to collect that, internet sales tax was not even in our top 20. Now, today, it's like the third biggest contributor to our sales tax. But what I learned is that the federal and state governments are doing away with that category and putting all those sales into their pre-existing categories. So things like Amazon are going to fall now into department stores. So we're not going to be able to track what the contribution of internet retail is to our sales tax, which I think is unfortunate. It was something new that we were able to track and monitor and see how it changed, economic changes. But I just want to let you know you're not going to be able to see that in sales tax.
Hey, Holly?
Well, we're halfway through our inventory of capital assets. Once we finish, then we have to go into the Venus computer system, update our records. We'll print out new tags. We'll go back and tag everything. So we're moving along.
Time consuming.
It is time consuming.
You said it was gonna be very time consuming, so. That's it,
All
Howard?
right.
That's it.
Thank you, Holly. And I believe that.
Yeah, before we adjourn, I wanted to piggyback a little bit on what some of them Kevin said. We had the dedication of the Marine Sanctuary last Friday. There was a lot of people in town here. Very instrumental in all of this with the other counties and all that. There was a few of us that attended the ceremony itself. It was nice. It was really good. I mean, they put on a big thing, and the one thing we kept hearing over and over from everybody who went up on stage and talked, and how nice Oswego County was, how everybody was always willing to help them in any way, shape, or form, and give them directions and guide them in the right thing. So I wanted to piggyback up what Kevin said, because we heard the same thing at that dedication. So other than that, I have nothing else on that. Adjourn.
First by Legislator Martino, second by Legislator Twist. All in favor?
Aye.
We are opposed.